I don't understand this equally insane derangement that white conservative so-called Christians have for anybody in the political arena other than, and other arenas too, but other than somebody who is a hardcore fascist, right-wing, hate-filled son of a bitch who goes around telling everybody that unless you're a Christian, you're fucked, you're going to die a million deaths, you're going to burn in hell, you're no good, I wouldn't let my son or daughter near you, I don't like your schools, I don't like your entertainment, I don't like anything, you know? Well, why, that's another thing I could never figure out. Christianity's a death cult. That's all it is. It's a death cult. The core of Christianity is how to overcome death. You got a better explanation for Christianity? Well, any religion, really, that believes in some fucked up afterlife. But it's a death cult. So I've often wondered why all these hardcore evangelicals, since they're always talking about going to heaven and this person, that person's in a better place and yada, 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 why don't y'all just go fucking commit mass suicide and go to your heaven and get out of this hell that seems to cause you so much pain and anger and rage? If you go, millions of you just get together in the fucking Grand Canyon or something and commit mass suicide. You'll be free. Free of all the secular stuff that is just poisoning your little rat brains. I cannot. Now, before you send me an email about, oh, Mike, suicide's a very serious issue. No shit, of course it is. Of course it is. And the way these Christian evangelicals are just absolutely destroying the whole fucking planet. I mean, they vote for people who don't believe in global warming. They vote for people who want to save fetuses but don't give a fuck about children. For me, there is absolutely no defense that these Christian evangelicals can come up with that would make sense to me. There is no way to defend their fucked up points of view, whether they're political or societal, cultural. They don't want their kids learning about science. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You all practice this death cult. Can't walk into one of your churches without seeing some tortured, dead person hanging on a fucking cross. What is with you? Why don't you celebrate life? I'm not pissed tonight, Kathy. I'm just, I get so tired of this stuff. I mean, it's just so antithetical to life. This is not a life cult. It's a death cult. According to the Christians, joy and pleasure and sex and all kinds of things, they're no-nos. You're supposed, if you're a man, you're supposed to dominate your old lady and your little shitty children. You're the king of the family, and they dare not question your authority. If you're a woman in this bullshit, you know your role. You're lucky your husband doesn't pick up a fucking gun and shoot you because you represent Eve, the person who brought death into the world. I get angry because these sorry sons of bitches have so much influence now, thanks to gerrymandering and screwing with our political system. They have so much influence on the kinds of people that run for public office. And in some instances, the kinds of people that win. Just like this Roy Moore. Who the fuck would want him as a senator? Unless you were deranged and you see someone who is equally deranged, Roy Moore. Okay, I'm going to go vote for him. Why? Is he, tell me what he's pro. He's pro what? Well, he's pro-life. Pro-life? What does that mean? He doesn't believe in abortion. Like a good Christian evangelical Republican. Oh, you mean the ones right now who have let the children's health insurance program lapse and the fuckers won't do anything to reinstate it? Batshit. You know, yeah. I know you get tired of listening to me rage on about these fools, but Jesus. Roy Moore represented to the people who voted for him a time long past when blacks and women knew their place and Latinos and Muslims were not even in their sphere of existence. This type of exclusionary and oppressive form of Christianity distorts the witness of the church to love neighbor as self. Faith is about attaining love, peace, and justice together, and never at the expense of another. Those are some words from Reverend Carolyn Foster, a deacon at St. Mark's Episcopal Church in Birmingham. Well, sure, Episcopalian. Of course she'll say something rational like that. A guy named Adam Mixon, who was the pastor of, this is surprising, Zion Spring Baptist Church in Birmingham, signed the letter opposing Moore. He said he believed Republicans were compromising their claim of being the party of family values. He said, quote, family values seem not to matter as much as the present conservative agenda. Deep spirituality and faithfulness seem to have been set aside for a pragmatic win-at-all-cost approach. Whatever leverage white evangelicals may have waged with their appeal to so-called family values has been damaged, and their witness is bereft of any real consistency. Maybe he meant constancy. I don't know. Yeah, here you go. In an editorial written before the election, Mark Galli, who's editor-in-chief of the faith-based publication Christianity Today, a magazine I'm familiar with, he stated that no matter the outcome in that election, the biggest loser in the race would be the Christian faith itself. He wrote, quote, when it comes to either matters of life and death or personal commitment of the human heart, no one will believe a word we say, perhaps for a generation. Christianity's integrity is severely tarnished. God. I think it's a shame. I think all religion is a dead-end road anyway. But I have watched over the past 35, 40 years the rise of this hardcore, belligerent, ugly, exclusionary, nasty, bigoted, homophobic, violent, so-called muscular Christianity. And I've watched this develop and get goofier and more fucked up, and to the point where evangelical Christians in Alabama, almost to the last one of their little miserable hearts, were willing to vote for a lawbreaker who had been removed from the Alabama Supreme Court twice, a stupid man, a liar, a denier, just like Judas, a child molester. For what? What did Christian evangelicals see in Roy Moore?